such a basic bitch. I'm telling you, it's amazing to me how basic, it's amazing to me how stereotypically basic a lot of my needs and wants and desires are. So, I have a touch of the narcissism. I really like it when I have an audience. I really like it when people listen to what I say and believe what I say and tell me that I'm a good boy for what I say. It's something a lot of entertainers have. This desire to be seen, this desire to be heard. There's a lot of people out there talking about how they want to live quiet lives and they have all this anxiety and they've got all this, oh, well, I get stage fright and I get this and I get that. And I'm like, I live for that. I don't understand how these introverts keep becoming influencers. Because it's like, well, I get to hide in my room and people give me adoration. Yeah, I don't get that. I want to be on stage. I want to hear the roar of the crowd. You know, I want to hear the people cheering. I want to look at them and have them go, yeah, you're right. That extrovert part of me really, really wants that. And I'm wondering what that would do to me, you know. Many times I feel like the reason I haven't obtained an audience yet is because, you know, the powers that be have decided that if I got my audience now, I might not handle the power very well. I might have it for like a few weeks and then say something phenomenally stupid, and that would cause me to lose everything. It very well could happen, I don't know. But I wonder, what would it be like? You know, there's that song from Fiddler on the Roof. If I were a rich man. That whole song, if I were a rich man, what would I do? How would I handle my power? Now, recently, I got a pretty good promotion at work. I still have my day job, and my promotion at work allowed me to get some extra cash. And with this extra cash, I've gone a little mad. And one of the things I've been doing a lot is once we paid off our own bills and we bought a few luxury thingies, I started looking around and buying things for my friends. You know, it's like, let me get that for you, as I whip out my credit card and then go home and pay the whole dang thing off. It's like, it's fantastic. To me, that is the drug. That is the ultimate feeling. That philanthropist part of myself. There's this really weird thing I've heard on the internet where people say somebody has a hero complex, and I'm like, is that bad? I have a hero complex. Growing up, I was obsessed with King Arthur and his knights. I've always been obsessed with heroes. And I've always fantasized about all the philanthropy work I would do if I got a lot of money. I would be the hero, because I'm a heroic person. I know I'm a heroic person. I have a lot of heroic tendencies. I run towards the danger. I've always done that. That's why when 9/11 happened, I joined the Army. It's the reason why I left the insurance industry, was because there were a whole bunch of things the insurance industry was doing that were so horrible that I couldn't stay. I couldn't make money off of it. I also know that I was able to, you know, when I was having money troubles and I was like, what kind of job can I do that wouldn't make me go crazy? I joined security and started making sure that other people were safe. That's how I ran my security teams when I had other people and I was in charge. I would show them the techniques that I learned from the Chicago police when I trained with them. I would show them what I learned in the military, and I would talk to them and tell them that the reason they're doing this is to protect other people. And so if you don't have the ability to protect people, you need to get the heck out of this job. And there were personality types to deal with, but it's that part about me. I would go and walk people to their cars. I would look for danger. I would seek out things that were dangerous. I would warn people. I occasionally got reprimanded because I was working at a university and there would be something really dangerous in the area, like a shooter or something like that, and I would go tell people. Or there was a human trafficking group that was snatching people, and I saw this girl at night walking by herself, and I insisted on walking with her and described to her in great detail what it was that the human traffickers were doing and why it was monumentally stupid for her to be walking around in this area by herself, because she was like prime target. She was a cute female college girl who absolutely believed in her own invincibility because she was like 19 or 20, you know. And it's like, yeah, you have no idea how dangerous these people are. They're looking for people exactly like you. They're going to whisk you away from home, and you know, YouTube would straight up suppress any details because it's vile. You know, if you want to not sleep at night, look up human trafficking. It'll mess with you. I got reprimanded for that. How dare you talk to this girl and scare her? And I looked at them and I said, is she still walking out at night by herself? No. Then it's fine. I got the intended result. She's safer now. I try to protect people. I try to give them information. I feel one of the worst things we can do is make uninformed decisions. I know that because many of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life were uninformed decisions. There's a video that I'm working on where it's about the Isle of Man in Crusader Kings 3, and I made a whole bunch of statements in that video about basically, you know, it's called the Isle of Man, but it's a place where, according to Arthurian legends, that's really where Avalon was, which is like the ultimate in feminine power. And so I was like, man, maybe it's like a patriarchy thing. And then I looked it up, and it was like, well, I told it to my wife, and my wife, being very intelligent, said you should probably look up the etymology of the words, because you might discover that it actually has nothing to do with man and woman. And I looked it up, and it has nothing to do with the words man and woman. Turns out it's named after the the Celtic deity Manannán, and there's also a huge story behind it that I know nothing about. And then I started looking up the Isle of Man, and I discovered it is home to one of the most dangerous motorcycle races on the planet. Fascinating stuff. You should look it up. Totally look it up. But yeah, it was something that I looked at, and I was like, well, I went to college. I'm an English major. I know these things about the patriarchy. And then my wife was like, maybe you should look it up before you make a bunch of grand declarations. And I looked it up and went, oh, apparently I was really, really uneducated and uninformed, and I made a bunch of assumptions. By the way, that's what bigotry is. It's when you really don't know anything and you make a bunch of assumptions, and then people usually get hurt. So we're all capable of it. And especially mouthy people like me. My mouth opens and it starts running, and I don't always have all the details. So that's why I surround myself with people, and I run these ideas by them, and I go, hey, does this sound completely stupid to you? And usually they're like, no, that sounds good. And every once in a while my wife will look at me and go, no, Paul, you're being an idiot. So find somebody in your life that'll say that for you.